everybody. Hi, how are you guys? Welcome back again for another Witchy book club. Oh, let me stop. I have like bird noises going on in the background. Okay, Google, stop. Oh, it's kind of nice though. But I'm not sure if YouTube would like if I did that. So, hi for those of you who are joining me live right now, and to those of you who are going to be watching this in the playback. Yes, I'm just gonna wait for a couple of people to start. Yep, okay. Hi, Madison. Hi, Christine. Hi, everybody. I am in a really weird mood today. Per usual, I feel like each live stream I do, I'm like in a completely different, weird. Hey, hi, Simon. Yay, you got to catch one. Hi, Lindsay. Hi to everybody joining in right now. I have a lot of things to discuss with you guys. Oh, I just wiped some oil on my chest, so sorry. It smells so good. Hi, Heather. Hi. I have some really exciting things to discuss with you guys. We are going to go over the book and the section, Earth Magic by Stephen D. Farmer. But as I've kind of like flitted around the last few live streams around this book, I'm having a hard time with the writing style of this book, not particularly the elements that the author is bringing up, but more so around his style of writing. So I really am going to admit to you guys that I did not read the entire section for today's live stream. I kind of skimmed and read bits and pieces, and I know that some of you don't even have the book, you just want to hang out and live chat with me, so I'm sure that that's okay. But I have some really important, I think might be ranty topics to go over today. So I'm still super excited about this. Let me say hi Danielle, hi Crowgirl17, hi Angie. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my girl Angie. If you guys didn't notice, I already kind of showed this mug here. So excited about this. Angie is like the sweetest person in the whole world, and she messaged me, I don't know, a few days ago and was like, pick a color. And I did. She gave me like some colors. I didn't ask questions. I was just like, here's my color. Good. I don't know what this is for, but cool. That was fun. And then this basically showed up at my house, and she was saying that I'm always complaining in my live streams about how here's what I'm drinking, but it's gonna go cold in like 2 seconds. So she got me this really nice Yeti mug, and it has a different lid with a top. Like, who does that? That is the sweetest freaking thing I've ever, like, that is, you guys are so nice, and Angie, you're amazing. Right now I just have water in here because if you can't tell, my energy is very spazzy today, which is part of the reason why I'm in a little bit different of a mood. I woke up very out of it, so I drank some water and had a cup of coffee, and then immediately afterwards felt extremely anxious and extremely short of breath. So I don't know if it's just the caffeine or what's going on today, because I'm kind of in between this energy of feeling like really anxious and nervous and excited, but also, I don't know. So I'm trying to keep my shit straight. I think George's phone is going off over there. Anyways, how are all of you guys today? I would like to get into some more things before we actually go to the writing. And if you saw the title that I did in this, or if you can see it right now, I have Let's Talk Intentions, because that's going to be a big topic of today's discussion around Earth Magic and the book. So, and just in general. So how's everybody doing today? What are you guys doing? Where are you watching in from? What's going on? I'm sure more people will join us as this goes on. Running to work late again. Angie. Well, don't get in an accident or anything. I hope that you're not actually driving. So excited for Tarot-thon. Okay, so that was one of the things I wanted to talk about, especially because Simon may or may not still be here. Simon from Hermit's Cave is just so magical. I have no idea how he ended up pulling this off within like 24 hours. Yay, hi Simon. So if you guys aren't following Simon from Hermit's Cave, he just commented in the comments. Please go over and follow him. I'm sure that you already are, but if you're not, please go check out his channel. He is hosting the first ever that we know of 24-hour Tarothon, and I am a part of it. How I weaseled my way in there is beyond me. I am so excited. So excited. So I'm going to be promoing and plugging that shit for like until the 29th of July, which is when it's going to take place. So basically the concept is, and you can go watch Simon's video he just put out, it's like a 5-minute video explaining everything and who's going to be involved and all of that. There's some amazing channels involved in this, and we've already been discussing like what our topics are going to be. I'm so excited. I made you a part of it. What do you think? Made up you a part of it? What are you saying, Simon? Good morning, Sam. How are you? So basically the concept is that we're all going to be streaming for 24 hours, but not at once. So it's going to be a 24-hour chain. Each person gets 90-minute slots. It's going to start with Simon, and once he's done with his 90 minutes, he's going to pass the baton off to somebody else, and there's a lineup with all the channels and all the time that we'll be promoting. I already posted it on my Instagram story if you want to just go check it out there. I'll be talking about it a lot more. Yeah, I made up that you are a part of it. Are you joking? I don't know what you're saying. Simon, I don't understand what you're saying. Super good this morning. Good, Sam, I'm glad. Made up. It's maybe an English expression. Oh, means he's really happy. Yeah, we don't say that here. I made up. Oh, okay. Because it sounds like you're saying that you're joking that I'm a part of it and I'm talking about it and I'm actually not a part of it. It means I'm happy. Okay, good. Yay, I'm happy too. Thanks, Simon. Yeah, so I'm going to be a part of it. I think on the slot it says 2:30 a.m. because he's going off of London time. So for Eastern Standard Time, for me, I'm going to be live streaming at 9:30 p.m. So you'll have to figure out where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, where in the world the time is for you guys and how you can tune in. So I'm really excited. I don't know if I'm supposed to, Simon, can I announce what my topic is yet, or are we waiting until everybody has their topics? Because I already know what I'm going to do and I'm so excited. While I wait to see if Simon gives me the go on telling you what I'm going to be talking about during my 90-minute slot, I kind of wanted to quickly ask you guys what you think about this. I feel like you're going to be like, just do it if you want to. Okay. Okay, well, I'll just talk about the Tarothon and then we'll move on. So my topic, whose time zone is it on? Well, Angie, it's in everyone's time zone. It just depends on what time it is for you on how you can watch the certain channels. So I think you mean like the list. The list is on London time, which is GMT, I think. No, wait, that's me. Wait. I'm EST. But the lineup of the list is going off of London-based time zones. So that's why I said on the lineup it says 2:30 a.m., but that's London time. For my time, when I'm doing it, it's going to, BST. Okay, thank you. I just got really confused. So 9:30 p.m. is what time it would be for Eastern Standard Time, but then if you're in, and you just have to figure it out. Just figure it out. Okay. It's GMT +1 British summertime. Oh God, time zones, my weakness. Same. As you can see, I just like actually exploded a little bit. Hi, Jessica. How are you? Okay, so yes, my topic, I'm so excited. My topic is going to be movies through the majors. I have a lot of more serious content coming out on my channel, I feel like. So I really wanted to do something fun and different and kind of play around and just hang out with you guys. So my concept and what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be making a list of all the majors and movies that I associate with those major cards, either just the overarching theme or whatever it is, and I really want to talk to you guys about that. I'm probably going to try to list 1 or 2 movies just in case you guys haven't seen the movies I'm listing, so we can have a conversation. So start thinking about it, because that's going to be the fun of it. It's going to be fun for me to tell you what movies I associate with the majors, but also, like, you guys might have totally different associations with the cards. You might have totally different feelings or different movies or genres that you like to watch. So start thinking about that. If you want to already make your list now, that would be so fun. So when the live stream comes, I can say to you, what movie do you associate with the star card? And I tell you my 1 or 2 movies, and we talk a little bit about it and move on, because I only have 90 minutes, you guys. Can you believe that? How am I going to keep the 90 minutes? But I'm going to be very diligent about it. I'm going to cut myself off because it's not fair to the other channels. But if you guys know me, I'm a little worried about it. So anyways, if you guys want to make your list, that's the premise. Movies through the majors, and some other ideas for these channels that are going to be a part of this are really, really exciting. I'm so blessed to be a part of this. I'm going to be talking about it until it happens. Oh, I'll be setting a timer, probably like 5 timers, Angie, because I will not be going over. I will not be that person. Don't be that guy. Okay, so the other thing, thank you so much again for asking me about it. I'm going to be talking about it forever. I think it's going to be so, so, so fun. Just a little sneak promo of why I got this idea is because I already have a tag going in my mind that I've made up that I will talk and post about after the Tarathon now. And the tag was called Music Through the Majors. And I already have this. I was going to film it, but I'm going to wait because I think the movies is a little bit easier to do for a live stream and for people to talk about and stuff. But it's the same kind of premise. Music Through the Majors. I made a playlist on Spotify, and I was going to link down in the description. It's going to be a tag that I'm going to be starting. So if you guys want to start to think about that now as well, it's not going to be for another like 3 weeks now because the Tarathon is on the 29th. But basically the premise is the 22 majors, and each song or songs that you associate with the feeling or the meaning or the lyrics or the title kind of corresponds with each of those tarot cards. And I'm really excited about it because my songs are awesome. So that's that. I'm really excited about it. Fun exercises, fun things to do to connect with the cards more, to just play around and have fun. So that's that. I think somebody else said hello to me. Hi Marcia, how are you? Such a cool, thanks Jessica. I'm so excited to talk with everybody and be a part of that energy. It's gonna be freaking awesome. Okay, so now I'm moving on to a little bit more of an egotistical topic than it was before, if that's even possible. But I have something that I wanted to like get you guys' ideas about. Hi Kaylee, how are you today? You guys are just gonna be like, why is this even a topic? Just do it. I know it. In my head, I know that you guys are just gonna say this. But I'm nervous, okay? And it's around getting a P.O. box. I know. Here's the thing. You guys are insane. I don't understand sometimes why you guys are so motivated to send me things. You have to ask. I know. Okay, it's not even more so asking. It's more so clarifying that I'm going to be opening up a P.O. box, but I just don't want you guys to think that it's like you need to send me things, or I am expecting something from you, or I think that I deserve these things. Like, again, I know I just need to say it and get it out for myself so that I can get over the stupidness of this. It's something that I have been pushing back and forth with for the last kind of 6 months or so, because I've had a lot of creators reach out to me wanting to send me decks, which is incredible. Authors that have reached out to me wanting to send me their books, which is just unbelievable. Or just you guys that keep sending me love packages, and I'm blown away by the response and the givingness. I just have so much gratitude for you, but I cannot keep giving out my home address. It's not safe for me. It's not smart anymore. Even though I love and trust all of you, I have to be logical, and especially some of the people that are buying my oils and stuff from my website, which is still on vacation mode because I'm totally giving it a facelift. But from the past, I've thought about this too. When people purchase readings and combo with oils, or just buy my oils in general, I have to put a return address on there, and up until now I've been using my home address. So please be very cautious if you've already received something from me. That I'm already admitting that that's my home address, and that's very scary for me. So please be respectful of that. I'm sure you all will, but I guess I'm just mentioning that I will be opening a P.O. box and linking it or putting it down in the description box below, because what's nice about having that Amazon wish list down there is because it keeps my address private. But a lot of you are like, I don't give a shit. I want to make something for you. I'm making this for you. Or I want to send you a card, or I want to send you something else. Or like I said, creators and of decks and books and stuff are reaching out to me, which is like what I've been manifesting, what I've been working for. I'm not going to keep on going on this. It's more so that I can feel and understand, and I know that you guys do, that I'm going to be opening a P.O. box, not because I expect anything, not because I, think that I deserve, it's, which I've worked for it, so of course I deserve it, but it's, you guys get it. I'm done. That's it. So I will be opening a P.O. box. If you guys have ever felt like you want to send me something, but you felt weird asking for my address or whatever, because I've had people reach out to me too and say like, I really wanted to send you something, but I didn't want to be rude, or I didn't want, like, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care. I'm just going to be open to the abundance. I'm going to be accepting of the gifts. I'm going to be so grateful, which I am always, but I also have to be safe. So that's that. I just wanted to let you guys know that. I was going to ask you guys, but I already know, obviously, why not? Just do it, right? Just do it. So that's that. What are you guys saying? Are you guys yelling at me? Lindsay says, it's because you put out such positive vibes. People want to repay the kindness. Thank you. Much appreciated. Appreciated. Victoria Lynn said, just sat down with a cup of tea and ready for book club. What did I miss? Me being insecure. Sam, we got you, girl. It's a very smart idea. Cool. I'm over it. I'm not gonna linger. Jessica said, I've been wondering about this too. If you've got people wanting to send you stuff, it just makes professional sense to set up a P.O. box. Exactly. I just feel like in my mind, I'm like, you don't have that many people. You don't have that many people. Like, I don't know. You know what it is? It's like the weirdness, but actually I am. The amount of things I'm getting a month, and I don't want to be braggy or be like ungrateful at all, but it's like, at this point, I have to be smart and safe and logical and, like you said, professional about it. So I will have a P.O. box now. For professional reasons, a P.O. box makes sense, and for us who want to send you things, it's okay and a good idea. Just do it. Cool. Thank you. I have one for my Etsy shop. I have 2 small kids, so yeah, I totally get it. That's another thing. I live with my boyfriend and his 2 children and a best friend, and I have my fur baby, Phoebe, who's sleeping at the foot of the bed right now. Simply May says, is the book about spells? What is the book about? Yeah, okay, great, Simply May. Let's talk about the book. We are currently still on Earth Magic by Stephen D. Farmer. It is really based around, wait, did you say spells? Or, it's based around Earth magic. It's ancient shamanic wisdom for healing yourself, others, and the planet. We have been going over very expansive topics for these book clubs. And I admitted at the beginning, but there wasn't a lot of you here yet, and now there is growing numbers. So I actually didn't read the entire section of this for today, and I'm really sorry because I'm the one leading this, so I feel like I should, but I don't want to should on myself, which is something we're going to talk about today. I'm really not connecting as much with his writing style. I'm having a difficult time with it. The topics that he's bringing up are amazing. Bye, Jessica. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see and talk to you soon. So the topics that he brings up and the things that he discusses are really, really great topics for book club. But the writing style I'm having a hard time with. And the way the wording is, sometimes I'm having a hard time with. So I'm skimming and I'm skipping and I'm writing down things so that we can still have a really juicy conversation. I have already picked out the next book, and I'm not giving you guys any say-so in this because a lot of you have kind of already shown me. Did anyone else just roll their eyes? Why? Because I didn't read the section? Why? Or because you agree with me and it's like, I don't want to be mean to this author because he has put time and energy and love into producing something, and then, you know, that's not my jam. I'm not going to do that. Just personally for me, I don't, it's hard for me to get through some of these readings. But he talked about fairies and nature spirits in the beginning, and, you know, yeah, Crow Girl said I didn't read it all either. So that's why I want to kind of speed up the rest of this book. I'm going to announce the reading and the next book so you guys can get ahead of it. The next reading section for next week's live stream is going to be the rest. It's going to be part 3, which is kind of around the same weight of reading that we've been doing. But I think this book deserves one more live stream, and then let's move on, because I think that there is really, really great topics and things to discuss, but I'm having a hard time getting through it. I really, really am. So your next week's reading for the live stream on Monday is going to be the rest of the book, which is part 3, which is from page 179 to, I'm not even going to count the afterword. If you want to read the afterword, you can, but it's going to be from 179 to 250. So it is, it feels about the same. This was part 2 and this is part 3. So we're reading about the same amount, but we're really going to speed it up and get through it. So that's your reading for next week. I'm going to announce our next book. If you guys want to purchase it, or maybe you already have, or if you want to start reading, or if you want to look into it and think like, I'm not going to buy that book again, we'll just join into the conversations. That's up to you. The one thing that bothered me was the concept when he was depressed and seeing that image of lots of family and friends pulling him out, as if we are all so lucky to have that. I don't know if I specifically read that section, to be honest with you, but I get that there was some things in here, in the way that it was worded was a little difficult for me on some of the sections. But again, like the things that he's bringing up. Anyways, here's our book. Some of you might have already guessed this because it is a book that I suggested last time before we had, I chose this one. And it is Christopher Penczak's The Witch's Shield. So a lot of you were really disappointed that I picked Earth Magic over The Witch's Shield. When fishing through this one, I was leery about doing this because it seemed very like almost textbooky. Like, now we're talking about pendulums. Now we're talking about this and that. But then going over Earth Magic, this one's kind of the same thing, and I've listened to a few reviews on this, and the fact that a lot of you said you already had this book, and that you've already either purchased it, or, you know, when I suggested both of these books up, some of you said, oh, well, I'm just going to get this one anyways because it seems really interesting. So that's why I'm picking this book for the next book club. If you guys want to get this now, you can. If you want to wait, that's fine. Again, if you don't want to get it and you still want to join in on Witchy Book Club, please feel free. Never feel like you have to purchase the book, but I want to give you guys ample time to get the book and to be a part of it if you want to. Hi, Rebecca. How are you this morning? Penczak has great books. All would be good for future book clubs. Great. To my knowledge, I've never read any of Christopher's books, so I'm very excited about this. I haven't read that one, but I really like his books. Great. Hello there to everybody else joining in. Canine Lover, how are you? Canine Lover, duh, wow, okay, hey. Christine, he's so down to earth and easy to understand. That's what I am looking for. I never read any of his, so this will be exciting. Great, look forward to it. Wonderful. So I wanted to announce this before the first half hours of this live stream, and I will be posting on Instagram, and I will be, you know, talking about it next week as well. If you're just joining in, our section for the reading for next week is the rest of the book, which is part 3. I'm trying to speed up the reading on this book because I'm not connecting to it that much. And this is going to be our next. I know it's backwards for you guys, but it's big capital letters. It says The Witch's Shield, which also was a little unique because, okay, hi, I'm okay. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm okay, my love. Did I miss much? My son is watching, so you can say hi, Peanut. Hi, Peanut. How are you? Thanks for joining in, Rebecca. You didn't really miss much, but you can watch the playback. I just talked about Tarot-thon and being a part of that and what I'm going to be talking about. And then I was insecure about getting a P.O. box, which I'm going to do. And then I discussed our next section to read. And this is our next book for book club. Now, before we move on again, just know that I am thinking about making like a poll or doing some way. So if you don't like this book, or there's a book that you're like really, really, really wanting me to read, or really, really, really wanting me to discuss, somehow either on my Instagram or in the comments, please leave me a suggestion. Please leave me a comment. Please let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram. Tag me in a post about a book. Whatever you want to do, please give me suggestions, because I'm just going to keep putting books up here for us to read if you guys don't want to suggest things to me. I am not against doing a fiction book. Not against it. Right now, I feel like it's easier to do and, you know, better for conversation-wise to talk about, you know, nonfiction type ways of going about magic and witchcraft and, you know, in more of an informational book style. You know, the Green Witch was very how-to, here's the info, here's what we think. Same with Earth Magic. And then I'm assuming that the Witch's Shield is going to be like that as well. But if you guys want to put up a fiction book, I am not going to shy away from that. We could do historical, whatever you want to do, just let me know, and I will take that into into account and factor in for the next books. And now Canine Lover said, did you ever get the Dusty White book? Is that the title of it? Did I ever get the Dusty White book? The Dusty White book. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I could have, and I don't know what you're talking about. Is that the title of the book? Angie says, I like craft books. It is more into what we discussed. Maybe a tarot type book would be nice too, since we did do astrology. Tarot book. That's kind of what I was thinking as well. But not everybody in here does tarot, even though my channel is very tarot based. It's not all tarot. So that's why I was kind of trying to take more of like a general approach. But if we did astrology, why can't we do tarot? How to read tarot? Yeah, we could totally do tarot. If we did, I'd want to make it like a book that's really easy and fun to learn, and not so much like, now we're moving on to this card. Just because like, so something I would suggest would be what I talk about all the time, which is Kitchen Table Tarot, which I've already read, but I would totally read again with you guys, by Melissa Sanova. Yeah, so Lindsay said Kitchen Table Tarot. I would be totally down for that. And she's also coming out with another book, but that's not actually, I already pre-ordered her book, but it's not coming out until I think March of next year. So possibly if we're still doing this, hopefully we are, then we can continue with that. All right, let's move on. Let's get into this. Let's get into this, you guys. I'd still like to do earth, air, fire, and water. For a specific astrology combo, or what do you mean? Is that a book title? It's a small read, right? The Kitchen Table Tarot. I think as far as tarot books go, it's a small read, but it's about the same amount of reading, if not more than what we have been doing. I don't know if I can reach it without, I'm on my bed again, so I don't know if this is going to tip over. I'll try to reach it. Oh my God, I can reach it. Oh, here we go. The book by Scott Cunningham. Rebecca, comment, or somebody, one of my moderators or somebody message me that title on Instagram so I don't forget. This is Kitchen Table Tarot. So maybe after The Witch's Shield, we will dive into this specific book or another tarot book that you guys want to go into. This one's just very funny and easy to talk about. And I feel like it's really, really modern. I think an awesome book would be Secrets of the Waite Smith Tarot. Awesome. Danielle, I love you. Can you please DM me that on Instagram because I will forget. I enjoyed the Green Witch, the homework we did for that. I had so much fun doing. I know, and you know what? I feel like the homework hasn't been as fun since that book. Like the homework and all of those activities were so fun, and I get that. So I will try. I wish there was another book like that. Honestly, Green Witch was amazing. I really, really liked that book. I had a ton of fun talking about it, and it really just spoke to my soul. But I've read this, you guys. This is freaking hilarious. So, so funny. So maybe that... All right, so that's going to be our lineup, okay? This is what we're going to do. 2 books. 2 whole months already in that we're going to announce. I can't believe I'm doing this, but this is it. Next month, Witch's Shield by Christopher Penczak. If you want to get the book, you can and join in. The next month and the next book that we're going to be doing is Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Sanova, because I'm trying to think of a really good tarot book. And honestly, you guys, I just love and adore this so much. I wouldn't mind rereading it. I really, really enjoy her style of writing, and she brings in a lot of modern or media connections to the cards, which I think is going to be really, really great for us to talk to about, okay? So there would be so many fun activities we could do with Kitchen Table Tarot. Exactly. I'm almost inspired to switch these books, but let's stick to what I said before. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Next book, Witch's Shield. Then the book after is the Kitchen Table Tarot. So if you don't already have these books and you want to get them, or you know you don't want to get one, or you don't want to get one and you want to get the other, I'm announcing these now. Please continue to give me suggestions, because have you reviewed WTF is Tarot? I have never read that one. That's one on my list. I really, really want to do that. I'm missing a ton of comments, you guys. I'm trying. So if I miss something, can my moderators please go back and write it in caps? Crow Girl 17. I'm really looking forward to Melissa Sanova's class for Tarot Summer School. I also am enrolled in Melissa Sanova's class for Tarot Summer School. I think she's going over tarot through the numbers or something along those lines. How do we get involved? That Ethany's Tarot Summer School is something that I would love to be a part of someday. But I'm signed up for 2 classes through the Tarot School, and it's Ethany's, I think, Intuitive Tarot, and Melissa Sanova's, I'm pretty sure it's like the numbers in tarot or something like that. Tarot through the numbers or along those lines. I have the Kitchen Table Tarot too. Cool. And a lot of people have this and have read it, but I still think that it's really good. This is a good conversation starter. So these are our 2 lineups for our next books. I hope that you guys will get involved. And if not, I hope that you will still join me for the live streams. Okay. Anyways, let's get into this. Okay. Our homework for last weeks was very generalized. It was very kind of like loose end. I didn't really give you guys actual homework. It was more so just like a conversation or thought to have with yourself. And that was along the lines of thinking about different cultures, ethnicities, places in the world that you feel drawn to, either and to ask yourself, why do you feel drawn to them? Do you feel drawn to them because you know you have roots, you know you have ancestors that come from that specific ethnicity or background or, you know, part in the world, and so you feel ties to them? Do you just have this kind of random draw towards maybe the Japanese culture and you have no sort of connection that you know of, you know, DNA wise or anything like that? And to ask yourself why, and to kind of just get thinking about the places in which you feel, or the different sections of the world or different ethnicities and races and stuff like that that you feel drawn to. Whether it's because, again, maybe a past life or anything like that. And my homework I did without even knowing. And if you guys have or haven't watched, it's okay. I tried a sensory deprivation tank again. So it's a separate sensory deprivation tank is basically a spa floating device where you get in a pod and the water is the same temperature as your skin, and the average temperature of the human body. So you get in it and it kind of feels really fluid. Like you don't know where your body's beginning and where it's ending. And then it has a ton of Epsom salts in it, so you immediately float. I choose to close the pod. I don't wear any clothes, so I really feel nothing. I'm just floating and I can't even feel that I'm floating. And I have all the lights off, which is pitch black, which some people are like freaked out about. Me as well sometimes, and no music. And for an hour, I float in actual darkness and nothingness. And it's the second time that I did this. You can watch both of the videos if you'd like. The first one was super intense and dramatic, and this one was much more gentle and weird. But what's funny is I was thinking about the homework today before I pressed the go on the live stream, and I was like, I did my homework, maybe, without even meaning to do my homework. I don't know. So if you watch the video, I'm going to be reiterating a little bit, but something that happened in this float spa session was that I was kind of drifted out into, I don't know what or where my mind was. I don't remember. But at one point I kind of came back, and Phoebe's having a dream and she's so cute. Her little paws are like twitching like she's running. Christine says, I'm freaked out about that. Are you able to have the water lit up in the tube so you can clearly see through the water? Yeah, questions I get a lot about this before I tell you about where I'm going is, I'm scared of like being in the darkness. You have total control over your room, over your pod. You can get out, you can close the door, you can get out at any point, get back in if you need to. You can keep it all the way open, you can close it all the way. If you want to keep opening it and closing it, you can. You can turn music on, you can turn music off. You can turn the light on, you can turn the light off. You are in total control of what you want your experience to be like. I just chose to go very extreme. No lights, no clothes. You can go with a bathing suit on. Like, you can do whatever you want. But I went closed pod, no light, no music, no clothes. That's the best way to like get the most out of the experience as far as like what it's made for. But I don't understand, like, why would somebody think that they're trapped in this pod and that there's like someone locked behind a counter, like closing the box, and you never can get out for the next. That would be horrifying. Pretty sure that would be like illegal. I don't know. You can get out, you can turn on the lights, you can turn on the music, you can do whatever you want with it. So, you don't have to close the pod at all. You can literally have lights on, no music, or music, pod open. Like, you can totally do that. So I hope that answers some of your guys' questions. I've seen someone get in a pod, but it's no water and they're blindfolded in music or silence and the pod spins. Ugh, that sounds nauseous. Like, I just looked at my local float spas. They have a float cave, which is basically an enclosed bathtub. Pretty sure I'm gonna go for it. That's exactly what it is. It's a bathtub with water that's almost cold, because it's like the same temperature as your body. It's not warm. You don't get in it and you're like, oh, this is really nice. You get in it and you're kind of like, I wish this was warmer. But it's not cold. Too many horror movies. Well, that's cool. I don't know. Rebecca said, I was thinking that when I watched your video. I know that you said you could have been Italian, but if you felt was Spanish, I think it was. I feel a draw to Mexico myself and Japan and a few other places. And I feel like I would be that idiot to drown in a pot. Oh my god, same. Hi, morning to everybody joining in. Honestly, Simon, it's an incredible experience. I highly suggest you look up some float spas or sensory deprivation tanks around your area if you'd like to. Let's start a video movement on going to sensory deprivation tanks, because I've already convinced Imogen Walters. I'm like, you have to do this. She's like, I really want to, but everyone's like scared. You guys, it was intense. I'm not gonna lie. It is intense, but it is so cool. Anyways, where I'm going with this is And I talked about this in my video. Again, sorry if you watched it and you're getting double load here, but at one point when I drifted out of like wherever my consciousness was and then kind of came back, I was hearing a ton of voices, and there were so many at once. I couldn't differentiate which was external, which was spirit, which was me talking in my head. And I was like trying to relax still, but I was trying to discern about what was happening when, you know, I was just a lot. It was a lot. And at one point, I heard a very strong voice come through. It's weird because it sounded like my voice, my head voice inside my head. Not spirit, not a nudge that's coming through in my head that sounds like me. Excuse me. Excuse me. But it sounded like me, and it sounded like if I were to stop talking right now, I can continue to talk in my head. You know, thank you. Bless you. It sounds like me, and it felt like I was speaking inside my head. And I was speaking Spanish, like pretty fluently from what it felt like within me and what it sounded like. I mentioned in my video that I took 4 or 5 years of Spanish in middle school through high school. I don't remember really any of it. And someone says, you know, you don't really forget things like that. But I would even beg to say that like the way that I was speaking Spanish in my head, I never was able to speak Spanish like that, even when I was at my like best top of being able to speak or understand Spanish, because of the fact that I wasn't in a situation where I could communicate with people who was speaking fluent Spanish. It was like classes, like, okay, now we're going to be talking in the class like this, but I still struggled. And in my mind, I was speaking Spanish so passionately, so aggressively. Whoever I was speaking to, or whatever I was speaking about, I don't know. I kind of get a sense that I was speaking to some sort of older woman, not old woman, but like older, like a generation above me, you know, so, or like it would be like a mother kind of status, whether it was my mother or was a mother at one point or is of that difference in age. I felt as though I was speaking to a woman of some sort, and I can't tell you why I know that or how I know that. It's just what it feels like inside me. And the urge for me to take my words out of my head and speak them out of my mouth while I was in this tank was so strong, but I had no idea what I was saying. No, I have no idea, Angie. I have no idea what I was saying, because I don't understand Spanish. But I think it led me to come back to say, ask myself some questions. Was I tapping into a collective consciousness? And I was speaking Spanish because everybody understands all languages on some level, and we all communicate, you know, in a different parallel energy together. Or is this because I was tapping into some sort of past life? Or if there was a spirit that was trying to come through that allowed me to communicate through that. There's so many, or maybe I was just speaking gibberish and it sounded like Spanish to me. There's so many different possibilities, but I thought that was really interesting because of our homework that I assigned. I wouldn't necessarily say that, you know, Spanish or Mexican or Latino or any of, you know, predominantly Spanish type speaking, and I know there's lots of variations, that's not just Spanish, but this sounded like Spanish to me. Any of those types of places or ethnicities or cultures that kind of fit into that role, I don't necessarily feel that really immense pull to, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't have had maybe more Spain. Yes. Okay, but yeah, that was the other thing, Angie. She's talking about maybe it was Italian, and I thought that as well. A lot of words and terms in Spanish, or the way that the language is comprised sentence-wise, is very similar to Italian. And I am Italian. My grandpa on my dad's side is a first-generation Italian. Both of his parents spoke fluent Italian. They were straight over from Italy. And I had a very Italian influence on that side of my family, and I look very Italian. So I thought that there was specific rolls of the R's and specific ways that certain words were appearing in my head or being spoken in my head that led me to believe and felt much more on the like genuine Spanish side. So I hope I'm not offending anybody or saying something wrong, or, you know, but this is just my truth and what happened to me and what I'm experiencing. But I did afterwards think like, okay, maybe it was Italian, maybe it was an ancestor, maybe it was, you know, a family member, a great grandmother, or someone that was, you know, trying to talk to me, and I was feeling like it was Spanish. I really feel like maybe you do have some Spaniard blood in you and you don't know it. I know, I've thought about that. I have done ancestry DNA kits, but a lot of those like that go way, way back, you know, they just generalize things. But even then, what if this is like a past life, or what if I'm just tapping into a collective consciousness? I am missing some things and I do apologize, but I'm trying. Your spirit self speaks all languages, or that was what I was brought up thinking. I agree. When I communicate with spirit, I always understand, so makes sense to me. Yeah, so I don't really feel like I have to figure that out. I have just tried to ask myself that question so I could not just forget it and move on, try to think how it was affecting me and how it was, like, what was it trying to say? What was I trying to tap into? And, you know, that's the whole point of the float spas for me. Most with Italian have Spanish speaking of some sort. Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, you know, the blending of the two, and there's a lot of words that are pronounced pretty similar or are actually the same, and there's a lot of different sentence structures that are so similar between the two languages to me. But I've heard Italian being spoken, I've heard, you know, Spanish being spoken, and to me there's very key differences that you kind of just know. You don't remember maybe a feeling you had, angry or happy or stressed. I do remember the feeling that I had. The feeling that I had in my physical body was immense pressure within holding back speaking words aloud. I don't know why I held back. It just was happening. I don't know why. So I felt like there was a ball in my chest, not because I was going to cry, but because it was very difficult for me to not take what I was hearing in my head and saying in my head and verbalize it. But, what I got from how things are being spoken in my head and what I was saying, there was no voice talking back to me though. Like, that's the thing. It was very like, I feel like I was talking in my head right now, just like I'm talking to you, with the same sort of inflection, with the same sort of passion, with the same sort of intensity, just like this. Like, my words were just like this, but it was in Spanish, and I have no idea what exactly I was talking about. That's kind of what I got. That's my homework. That's what I'm going to talk about. There are certain cultures and ethnicities and pasts and places in the world that I do feel drawn to for certain reasons, but I think I'm going to leave it at that, because that was like really, it was really intense. And yeah, no, I mean in your blood. Like, I have Italian and it turns out Spanish too, and I heard that's very common with Italian descent. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I'll ever know, Rebecca. I really don't. But it was interesting, and I thought I'd bring it up. So what did you guys take with the homework? What did you guys think about? What did you guys, like, what sort of things do you feel drawn to? Why? Have you had a dream and you were just like, I feel, or have you ever just felt like you belonged, or you felt like you really connected with a certain culture because of their beliefs or because of their lifestyle, or just because you feel like in your bones that you connect with it? Or is there something that you know, like genealogy wise or DNA wise, or something that you just feel called to, or that you hear all the time, or you just fit in with? Or maybe it's just your family. Maybe your family is extremely Scottish, and you all are, for all of your, like my family on my mom's side, all the men wear kilts in the weddings, and everybody is very, very Scottish in their love and things like that. I'm getting distracted now. But Madison P says, I had a dream that felt very real, and it was me in France speaking to a woman. So yeah, that's really interesting. Madison, do you know if you have French ancestry, or like what did you feel from that, and what do you think about that? What does everybody else think? Oh, I love this mug so much. It keeps right now I just have water because I'm very like spazzed out and kind of anxious, like I said in the beginning. So water is what I need. Christine L said, I had found a connection to certain Celtic deities when I first started looking into paganism. And it was, oh my gosh, Anthony, you are so sweet. Anthony just gave $3 to the live stream. Thank you, Anthony. You are so sweet. You are so sweet. We miss you so much. Oh my goodness. You are so cute. Thank you, Anthony. Christine L said, I had found a connection to certain Celtic deities when I first started looking into paganism, and it clicked like it was something I just knew, even though the family I'd known had been Catholic. Super interesting. What else did you say? I think it might be from DNA, since I come from all the areas the Celts were found. I feel very connected to that as well. But I also think that on my side, that's coming from actually having a ton of, Phoebe is smiling in her sleep. Like, actually, she was like this, and then she goes, and she was just smiling in her sleep. Oh my gosh. I have a ton of Celtic, Scottish, Irish, Welsh backgrounds. Oh my gosh, Anthony, you are so cute. He just pledged. He just put another $2. Gotta go. Bye, Anthony. Oh my gosh. Look at my face. You are so cute. Thank you so much. I really appreciate when you guys do that. Please do not feel like you have to, but it really, really helps me out. And it makes me so happy. Thank you, Anthony. Rebecca said, Mexico and Japan are places I am very drawn to. I am a total weebo. I don't know what that means. I love anime and manga, or manja. Manja means eat in Italian. Manga. I don't know how to say it, but I know what it is. And the culture. I have big Celtic pull too, but that's in my blood. Right. Okay, Madison P said, I didn't know who the woman was, but I felt like I knew her. Isn't that so cool? I love talking about stuff like this. I have always connected to Celtic and Greek history. I am almost completely Irish, but now Greek. But not Greek whatsoever. I ask a lot of Celtic and Greek goddesses for blessings during my rituals, mostly Danu. Hi, Sierra Rubin. Hello. Welcome. We are talking about feeling like you're connected to certain cultures, ethnicities, or backgrounds or places in the world, and why. Whether you feel pulled to because you know you have ancestors there and you have genetic ties to those things, or whether you've had experiences like dreams or float spa connections, or if you just feel like you belong or you really jive with a certain place just because, and why. And Angie said, I have a pull to the Celtic world too. I think it's more of the past life thing, because as far as I know, I'm all Mexican. Yeah. Crow Girl 17, Celtic, Norse, and Anglo-Saxon for me, but that's my ancestry, so that makes sense. And that's cool too. Let's just talk about it. Oh, Sierra says Egypt. Definitely the Aztecs as well. Why? Why do we think? There's so many good questions you could bring up because of this. And it's funny because there's certain areas in the world where I feel absolutely no ties or interest in, and that's not me trying to be mean or rude or, section them off and put them on an island by themselves and leave them be. I just, like, what is it about certain places and areas that we just feel more spoken to than other areas. It's so fascinating to me. Rebecca says, oh, Sam, yes, Greek mythology has been my obsession since childhood, and I work with several Greek deities, then married a half Italian, half Greek. Sierra said the Aztec city. Oh my gosh, I'm losing the comments. Montalban? You know, I'm horrible at pronouncing things. Sparked something in me. My maiden name is Montalvo. Montalvo. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but that's really, really interesting. And Angie thinks so too. Sam says, I feel you. I don't really care about Asian cultures at all. We'll just throw it out there, Sam. I'd love to visit, but I feel absolutely no polar connection to. Rebecca said, always been into Norse mythology too. Good, I said it right. That's a first. Lots of little floating sparkles all over my room right now, you guys. Like, trying to discern at this point whether it's like dust or spirit, but feels a little spirity in here. Gosh, my typos though. Yeah, come on, Rebecca, get on that. No, I know what you mean. Fairies. Okay, so good segue, Sierra. Let's get into the readings. We're really going to be skimming through and talking a lot about intentions today. No, Sam, don't feel bad. I'm just joking. Everybody, and that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody has certain things they're drawn to and certain things they're not drawn to, and why, and thinking about that. That was the homework. It was a very light-hearted, easy homework that you really didn't even have to do, that we probably just did together. Our homework together that we did, our homework class, we just did together as a group. So you're welcome. It was a free open book exam. So you're welcome. You all got A+ for the day. Yeah, Rebecca says, Sam, we all knew you weren't being mean. I'm just teasing you a little bit. Okay, so our reading section for this book was from chapters 11 to 18. It was the rest of part 2, the second half of part 2. I do want to go over just a couple little things that I think were really fun and to talk about. And then we're going to be talking for the rest of the live stream about intention, because it's been on my mind. I've had topics recently about this. There's certain things that I want to tell you guys, certain things that I'd like to get your opinions on concerning intention, which is a pretty big topic and a word we use all the time, and that I'm using in almost every Instagram post, and that is brought up in a lot of our live streams, or that a lot of people are making videos about. There's a lot of wonderful videos on intention, what it means, how to create good intentions, or you know, whatever it is. But I think that it's a good topic we need to go over, especially with some of the things that were brought up in this specific chapter and what conversations I've had recently. Can you guys see my pillow? Sorry. Okay, so starting with chapter 11, just skimming through a few things. He's talking about nature spirits. If you guys don't know, if you have the book, we're on page 103. If you don't, cool. Nature spirits. He goes in and talks about different places and what they think nature spirits mean. And, you know, he goes over a little bit about what fairies are, what nymphs are, what elves are, what gnomes are, what leprechauns were. I just apparently killed them all off. And mermaids. I thought that section was really, really fun. Again, the writing for me was like, take it or leave it. But it was kind of fun to talk about mythical type energy in sorts of things as it is real or realistic. Some of these I connect more with than others. And what was fun was that reading the section on mermaids, I've mentioned that I'm reading Wendy Darling by Colleen Oakes. It's a 3-part series, which is like a obviously fictional spin-off YA novel fantasy of Peter Pan. And the mermaids in there are, they prey off of young girl virgin blood. And so when she comes near the water or anything like that, they try and suck her in and kill her. And I was already kind of in this like fantasy, you know, dark mermaid, and reading about that was so, so fun. And then obviously Peter Pan has Tinkerbell, who is a fairy. And so just reading about that and thinking about taking this fictional fantasy book and kind of making a little bit more of like a real life thing was really fun for me. So I enjoyed that. People have asked me before, and this is gonna segue into our intention thing. Because honestly, you guys, I'm really having a hard time with this. And I've mentioned, so I did skim and read a lot of the section, but not all of it. People have asked me before, do you believe in fairies? I read the Wendy Darling books. I loved those. Christine, have you read Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes? Have you read her other series? Because if you haven't, it is so mind-blowingly amazing. I so recommend you do that. Which is a spin-off, kind of, not a retelling, but it uses the world of Alice in Wonderland. So people have asked me before, like, do you believe in fairies? Do you believe in mermaids? Do you believe in nymphs? Do you believe in these things that are fantasy? Ones would say fantasy. And my answer to that is always, yes, I do. I think for mermaids, it's a little bit more of a yes, for sure. I definitely believe that there is some sort of mermaids, maybe not how we see them in like The Little Mermaid, but there's so much of the earth that is undiscovered, that is underwater. Most of the world has never even been seen or touched or explored or documented by human brains, because they cannot get down there. They cannot explore these certain areas of the ocean, and so much of our world is made up by ocean. There has to be some sort of mermaid. There has to be. Again, it might not be like, you know, an actual literal representation of Little Mermaid, but I 100% believe that there are mermaids. And I also think that collectively, as a human race, when we solidify things with our intentions, as in fairies and mermaids, and there is leprechauns, when we as a collective consciousness just even continue to put their names in books, continue to celebrate them as holidays or a part of holidays, when we name drinks after them, or when we create whole novel series and they're incorporated in there, when we make artistic paintings over them, when we, you know, have when that energy, that intention, that collective manifestation of those things matters. And I do believe that certain things can evolve and certain things can feed off of that energy that we continue to solidify and put forth. My AC just kicked on, so if you guys heard that or the audio changed, sorry, but it's getting hot in here, so I'm kind of glad that it did. I was also really raised, well, let me see what you guys, and now I'm going to talk about fairies for a second. Christine said yes, and pre-ordered her a new one, the Black Coat's coming out next year. Oh my god, what's that about? Well, I've never heard of that. Oh my gosh, what is that? Black Coats, I need to look in that. I would not read the writer again. I think you're talking about Stephen D. Farmer. Yes, mermaids are 100% real. There's freaky shit in the ocean. I love you, Sam. There's freaky shit in the ocean. We've only discovered something like 2% of it. Yeah. For all I know, there's all these things. Gnomes, leprechauns, mermaids, fairies, nymphs, and they're all hiding underneath the deep blue sea, and we just don't know it. Angelica, there is some truth to all the stories. No, maybe not in the way we were all always shown it, but yes. I believe in less Disney version of things like mermaids. Exactly. Okay, cool. So we're all on the same board. We believe in some crazy shit. I also was really raised, and I've talked about this before in live streams, so I know. Oh my god, Sam, let me know that fairy story. Type it all out, get it in there, and then I will review when you're done. So I also believe in those 100%. Share your story with us. I would love to read it. I also was raised with an extremely imaginative mother, an extremely a huge push in my childhood for a belief in things like magic and energy and fairies and gnomes and spirits and my mother was really, really great at expanding and allowing us to explore and play around with our imagination and our connection to believing. I've mentioned this before, but like my mom went above and beyond when it came to stuff like that. So if we were walking in the woods, and I've done this, I found myself doing this to other people. When we're walking in the woods, she'll start talking about things like, you know, that this is, you know, where the troll lives and we're getting close to his home. And so just make sure you don't go off, or, you know, here's his name and here's his story and here's what he likes and here's what he doesn't like. And she would just start, you know, playing with us and talking about things with us. And as kids, I was extremely open to that information, and I loved it and I wanted it and I believed it, and even if in my heart I didn't believe it, I wanted to believe it, and that was enough. And so I would make myself kind of have these experiences, or she'd be like, this is that, do you see that, that's what the fairy left, that's, you know. So she was really, really great at that. When we lost a tooth and the tooth fairy had to come, my mom would take glitter and make little footsteps with the glitter so it looked like little footprints, and walking across my nightstand, and then she'd have like, you could see it like walking across and then maybe a gust of it, like almost she maybe knocked into my dresser or something. My mom would take her thumbprint and in ink and make like a little bunny paw print on the bottom of like our Easter thing, so it felt like there was an actual connection to that energy. So I grew up with a very imaginative, very connective sense to believing. What she did for Santa Claus, y'all, was like, oh my god, she just loved to play and imagine and use things like that. And so I definitely have still carried that over. I am a bit more logical, and you know, I am a little bit more skeptical now as I get older, because it's hard not to be. But I would say for the most part, I don't know. Okay, well, I'm going back to read some of these things. We are the freaky shit, mister, to paraphrase the craft. Okay, Sam. Okay, so my brother and I were coming out of Walmart, and it was storming super bad. He was walking across one of those median things and walked under this tree. The moment he was under it, a bright green flash of light erupted from the tree and hit his forehead. He hit the ground, and we immediately thought he was hit by lightning. And then the green light flew out from the tree. Oh my god, I have chills! It was this little like flittling ball of light that kind of zipped from side to side and then just took off. Shooketh to the core, Sam. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That is such a cool story. Yeah, and I hope that everybody isn't thinking that I'm like downplaying or placating that all of this is fantasy or all of this is not real, because I've had experiences that I cannot explain. Y'all, I just told you how I was speaking Spanish and I don't speak Spanish, stuff like that. But I mean, fantasy wise or relationship wise with certain things, yeah, I totally believe. If anybody has any more stories, I'd love to hear it. What in the world is happening to my stringy ass hair? What is up? Well, I make fairy houses and fairy gardens for a reason. We got raised believing you were smart to keep them happy. Ooh, love that. Roddy said, just got back, nearly missed you. Yay, so glad you're back. Okay, so yeah, I really enjoyed even the little section that he talked about. And then he did go in, and I read something where he talked about having a dragonfly in a certain culture. I can't remember what it was. They believe that dragonflies are, you know, that fairies can shape shift and that they ride on dragonflies or that they can transform into dragonflies. And so he saw this dragonfly and had this like awareness that it was a fairy, and it stayed with him in his music area and kind of settled itself in a place where he was hanging out with it, and he talked to it, and it let him touch him and like pet its wings or stroke it. And then he left and then came back and it was still there and it looked like it was smiling at him. Like those connections, I really enjoyed reading that, even though the way he wrote it was like, ooh. But like I really appreciate that story because I've had really genuine connections with things like that and felt in my heart that it was something more. I just felt that like I could communicate, or that there was a divine thing taking place. And he left like an offering for it, and it ate it and it left, kind of thing, or it wasn't there in the morning, or whatever the deal was. I really enjoyed reading that section. A lot of times when things go missing, I'll ask the fairies to please return it, and then it'll end up in the most obvious place that I've ever looked 100 times already. See, I love that. Rebecca, I almost wish I'd kept reading the book now instead of throwing it at the wall. There is some great topics. There is some great sections in here. There is some really wonderful topics or wonderful, I'm still enjoying using this as a tool for Witchy Book Club. It's just the way he chooses to go about things sometimes that I'm just kind of like, anyways, okay, so moving into the next section, he talks about tools. He does, and then he goes into like, or ceremony, sacred ceremony, and he talks about intention and inspiration, and he talks about tools, things of that nature and that sort. And this is where I want to get heavier into intention. Y'all ready? Ooh, that was a good mouth pop. No, can't do it again. I want you to know that what I talk about is completely my opinion, my beliefs, the way that I go about things. If you do not resonate with it, if you have been taught differently, if you practice differently, please take what you want, leave the rest. This is my live stream, so I'm going to talk about things, right? That I believe in, that I want to discuss. So if something doesn't connect with you that I'm saying, please just take it for what it is, or don't take it at all, and that's okay. Intention is something that's been on my mind a lot lately. And when he started talking about tools, he did mention in there, which I was kind of surprised about, he did mention in there that there's times in which he doesn't need to use tools, that they don't, that he can do what he needs to without them, or sometimes he's not feeling inclined to do that. And other times he feels like his tools are really, really powerful and that they carry energy and everything like that, which I was kind of surprised. I kind of felt like he might have taken more of an approach of like, here's the tools you need, and here's what I use, and that's the way it is. I think a lot has been factoring into me thinking about this a lot because, one, again, like I said, I don't want this to sound ungrateful, and I don't want this to sound bratty or like I'm unappreciative. I've been receiving a lot of things. I've been receiving a lot of books, a lot of decks, a lot of gifts. I've been purchasing a lot of tools or creating a lot of tools. And I feel like it's really important for me to talk about the importance of a tool being just that, a tool. You do not need to have 500 tarot decks. You don't even need to have a tarot deck if you don't want to communicate and set intentions and to do spell work or to do magic or to access certain parts of your psyche or other people's energy and connect on all those things. You do not need a pendulum. You do not need a wand. You do not need books. You do not need, well, you don't need books, but I love books and I'd highly recommend learning and stuff from books, but you don't need them. You don't need them. You don't need them. Tools are tools because they help us to access certain things more specifically. So when you think about an actual toolbox, right? Let's say you're trying to screw something in to a piece of wood, and your fingers cannot, I mean, if you really worked at it, you really could get a screw into a piece of wood. It'd be so hard. But that's what a screwdriver's for. It's there to help you, to focus. Yeah, I'm not reading your guys' comments right now, but I just saw that Rebecca said tools just help focus and direct energy, and that's all. And I do believe that certain tools can be more powerful than others because of our intention, because we have said, this is my favorite tarot deck. This tarot deck works and reads the best for me. And that intention and that mindset that you stick into that tarot deck is why it works and reads the best for you, because of your energy and your power that you have given it. Same thing with, let's talk about a Ouija board. Let's go into it. Everyone's like, oh, no, Ouija board, please, please. I am very cautious. I do not use Ouija boards. I do not play with Ouija boards, but I do not think that a Ouija board is innately bad or negative. I think that if you are going into it apprehensive, this is for anything, you guys, anything in your whole life, and this is why this is a really big topic and why I'm going to be really ranty for the rest of this live stream. Because I had a very serious conversation with a friend yesterday, which I will tell you about too. Ouija boards, at its core, is a piece of board with a little thing. Your intention that you sit down, if you're sitting down to say, I want to connect with my ancestors that love and adore me, you know, if you have that intention so strong and so in your body and so full, and that's all that's taking over, I believe that you can use that tool for really wonderful, powerful things. If you go into it with a skeptical mind and say, this shit doesn't work, it's nothing, like, I don't believe in this, then it's not going to work. If you go into it saying like, oh, I'm kind of scared, what am I going to access? I don't know if I'm going to open up to evil things, then you are going to open up to that. This is what's so important about the way that we use our words, the way that we go about our practice, why ritual is so important for making and solidifying things as what we want. The word manifestation, WTF, okay? WTF. If you want to manifest something, if you want to put intention into something, it's really important that you really full-heartedly acknowledge and do specific things. And sometimes using tools are a really great way to do that. Ritual is important for using intentions or making or solidifying your intentions into actual manifestations, because the more you do something, you wake up every day and say, I want to connect with the goddess Coventina, and every single day you wake up and you do something to connect or want to connect with a goddess. I'm just using Coventina because that's the one I'm connecting to right now. If every day I wake up and write a journal entry where I talk to her, or do something every day, my ritual every morning would be to do something, to put an offering, to meditate with her oracle card, or to draw a bath, or to create art that I feel like connects with her. Every time I'm doing something that I want to solidify or my intentions, ritual is a great way to say, here's another layer of added energy to this. Here's another layer of added energy to this. And I think that this is a big, broad topic, you guys, but I want to leave you with a thought and a conversation today about intentions, because there's so many different topics we can go on, and I'm going to tell you a story, but let me go back and kind of check in with you guys. I think I've missed some things, but Angie said, I never used tools when I was younger and trying to practice, but because my family wouldn't be okay with it, now that I'm a bit older, I do have tools that I made or bought and found in nature. Sure, intention is everything. Spirit boards are just tools like tarot. Exactly. Whatever resonates for yourself. It took me a while to find my ritual tool. I have a proper Ouija board right now, but my original one was printed out letters on a piece of canvas and a cardboard. Oh, I don't know what that word is. and it worked just the same. Rebecca said, oh no, what's happening? Right, Sam, same here. Mine is just wood I burned and carved myself, but used to be paper and a shot glass. Listen, you guys, it doesn't matter if you're using chewing gum as a way to enact sticking to your goals, like making a list for your goals and sticking a bunch of chewing gum on it with a stick, whatever you want. You could use anything as tools. I feel like, okay, so let me I have so many things I want to talk about. Angie said, I never used a board again. My family is so against it, but I feel like if it's used right with good intentions, nothing bad can happen. Honestly, that's with anything. I'm sorry I brought up the Ouija board because it's like now all you guys want to talk about, which is fine, but it's a good example of how I do believe you do need to be more cautious with certain things, only because a general consensus over the human race is that Ouija boards are bad. So even if you have the best and most pure intentions going into it, if you've heard in the past, or if you have like somebody that's told you, that, Ouija boards are bad, even if you're like, phooey, it is in your subconscious. So I do think that we need to acknowledge that intentions in your subconscious are still just as powerful. So there are certain things that the more we give energy to and the more that we give power to in certain ways, that that's exactly what you're doing. But I also do feel like your energy that you bring to the table is more important. But we can't rule out that, like, if you have been told certain things over and over again. And I'm moving into this with talking about curses and hexes. Now, this is probably going to be a little bit controversial because certain people are brought up or taught in witchcraft or energy work or spirituality, lots of different things, and I don't mean to offend anybody. I don't mean to talk bad about anybody. This is not my intent. This is me talking about my beliefs. Again, I'm just reiterating this, what I resonate with, how I do energy work, what I feel is best for me, okay? I'm not naming names because she probably doesn't want me to talk about this, but I had a conversation with a friend recently who was convinced that she had a curse placed on her where it made her friends all go away, or she couldn't hold a friendship, or all her friends were leaving her. I feel a couple different things about this, and I gave her my opinion and told her you believe what you want to believe. I have very strong feelings on curses and hexes. I do not work with curses and hexes. I do not believe that it is in my best intent and power and position to be dealing with curses and hexes. Not all people believe that. If you guys want to do you do you, boo. Okay? Always feel that way. I always feel that way. But I've been taught by my grandmother and by the way that I was brought up and what resonates with me, that what you put out is what you get back tenfold. What your intentions are that you put out are something that you can draw to you. So if you are saying, this bitch talked to me bad and I am never gonna forgive her, I am going to put a hex on her family, she's never gonna find love. She is never going to find love ever. I don't want her to be happy because she talked about me, or maybe, and this is really catty way of going about this, but I'm having fun with it because it's a serious conversation. I'm gonna be jokey about it, okay? So please don't get offended. But let's just say, this bitch was talking to my boyfriend, so I am going to put a curse on her, I'm going to hex her, I'm going to do a spell, I'm going to do energy work, I'm going to really push this horrible energy. And we talked about this a little bit last live stream, I think, with me talking about sending love and energy to an ex-boyfriend that I felt very connected to and that I couldn't let go of. And when I sent love and light, as cheesy and cliche as that sounded, oh my gosh, the power it had over focusing on dark and curses and hexes. You can definitely send that energy to that person if they're willing and open and unaware. I do not believe in my heart, in my soul, that you can place a curse or a hex on someone that doesn't allow you to. So that energy has to go somewhere. You are creating that energy. I do believe that when you're putting that mindset and intention and trying to manifest something, that energy is somewhere and it goes somewhere. And if that person that you're trying to direct it to, or that thing that you're trying to direct it to, isn't open and receptive to having that come into their lives, I believe that it won't be effective. As much magic and as much power and intention as you have, if that person does not want to receive it, I don't believe in my mind, and I'm sorry if this is really controversial and you guys I'm not reading your comments right now. I will go back. I swear. A lot of people feel very differently than me, and that is okay. That is really genuinely okay. But my friend felt as though she had a hex. She doesn't know who it came from. She doesn't know why. She was listening to some sort of video or podcast from a priest. Again, this is no offense or anything to anybody who resonates with priests or certain religions. But there was a lot of shoulds and shouldn'ts in this particular video or podcast or whatever, where the priest was saying you shouldn't do this or you should do this, and this is why you have a hex or a curse, and here's how to get rid of it. Which she said she didn't believe she had a curse or hex until she started listening to this. And that is part of the reason why I want to bring up intention as well. Maybe she had some circumstances where friends left her or had to move away or for whatever reason. And there was a couple instances in a row where she was like, man, this really sucks. Like, I just lost like 3 friends. Like, what's happening? And as soon as she gets that intention, or as soon as she puts that mindset in her head as, oh, well, yeah, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm hexed. You are opening up the floodgates for it happening more, or for that's the energy that you're taking on. And so some of the ways that I feel like is more productive ways of using our energy and focusing our mindset, which is easier said than done, were to be, instead of having a hold on to money mindset, hold on to friendship mindset, hold on to relationship love mindset, hold on to career mindset, for this particular case would be to gratitude. Instead of focusing on, oh my gosh, I keep losing all my friends. Where are they keep going? What am I doing wrong? Am I cursed? Am I hexed? Is this something that's just like gonna happen forever for me? I know this is so hard to say, but it's like, I am so grateful. I am so happy and blessed with wonderful friends who love and support me no matter where they are in the world or in my life. I am so open and willing for new friendships and new connections to find that are surrounded by me, that I can connect with on the daily, or that I can hang out in the physical world, that live close to me. And as much as, she's told me, she's like, I am open, I am. And I was like, that's right. But you're also really focused on losing and what you have lost. I'm like hot from how controversial I feel like this topic is. I think it's really important for everybody to sit back and think about where our mindset is on certain areas in our lives, like how we feel about money, how we feel about our relationships, how we feel about our careers, how we feel about ourself and our self-development, how we feel about the community. What are our general mindset? What are our intentions that we're consciously or subconsciously placing and asking the universe to kind of guide us in? Okay, so I have some more to say, but I think there's a ton of comments that have gone by, so I'm gonna kind of recap what you guys are saying here, because, okay. Okay, Sam, I think, was the first one back. If I missed your guys' comments, please comment them again. Sam says, I'm the same. I completely follow. If it does no harm, do what you will. Roddy says, Energy is like an onion with many layers. Peeling it layer by layer takes you to the growth center, the energy that makes it an onion, just like spiritual energy work to be at the center. Rebecca, if you use them wrong to hurt people, then sure, bad. If you use them right, like against negative energy and illness, then it's like anything else. It's intense. It's intention, right? Exactly. I think putting a banishment spell on something is really powerful if you're using it to rid yourself of negative habits. And it's sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you just don't get it right. And I'm not saying like, oh, it's as easy as just sending love and light, and it's as easy as this. We talked about this last live stream, but specifically around tools, around intention, around the things that you believe, the things that you do, the things that you say. It's so important for us to be working in an affirmative way. I'm not saying you have to go out and buy Louise Hay's affirmation stack. I'm not saying that. It's more so if we are focused on what we don't have, if we're focused on what we're afraid to lose, if we're focused on fear and loss and anxiety and insecurities, and as hard as that might be sometimes to not focus on that, as much as we stay in there, as much as we hold on to that, that is the energy and the mindset and the intention that we're putting forth. I know, easier said than done, but I truly, truly, truly believe that. That's a type of person I don't ever want to be. All hexes and curses. I feel like it goes against everything that is witchy to use them in a negative way. Some people disagree, Angie, and that's okay. Everybody's different. I just feel like a lot of the times, maybe I shouldn't say it. I feel a lot of the times, maybe channels or people that I come in contact with that are always talking shit or always wishing ill or always doing curses and hexes and things of that nature, or videos on how to do, you know, not so nice things. It's funny how a lot of the times it seems like their lives aren't really working out great for them. And that's not me trying to be judgy in return. It just, to me, solidifies even more so that if you're spending your energy and time on sending negativity, trying to put a curse or a hex on someone or a situation in a negative manner, you're wasting your time. Why spend time sending ill will and negativity to someone out of spite or revenge or fear or jealousy or loss when you could be working on manifesting your dreams and goals and your intentions into something so much better? Phoebe is having the cutest dreams. Her little puppy paws are like... Angie says, you know, my mom says something like that. If you don't believe in that energy, it won't affect you. So just don't believe in that. She was witchy and didn't know it. Exactly. Rebecca, you couldn't hex or curse a person effectively. No, that's not what they were intended for originally. So she's causing it by being negative. You know, I don't know if it was caused by her being negative. I also do believe that some things just happen, you know, some things that we are, you know, she's connected with these people and they're on their life journeys and they're on their life paths and they're setting intentions and they're doing their own energy work. And because she's connected to them, here's another thing. Nothing happens to you. Things happen and you choose how to react to them. Swallow that pill. I don't know. I know it's like, again, this is my mindset, my beliefs, my way of doing energy work and doing, you know, my mindset around witchcraft and just general life things. But, yeah, you know, sometimes people move, sometimes people go away, sometimes people choose to just cut us out and drop us and we don't know why. It doesn't mean that those things were happening to her because she was negative, but after maybe 1 or 2 or 3 friends kind of flittered away for whatever reasons, I think solidifying in her mind the fact that she keeps losing friends, or the fact that she can't keep a friend, or that she, you know, why is everybody leaving me? Like, if you continue on that mindset and path, like, that's That's all you're going to continue to do, in my mind, in my opinion, is not keep a friend, because that's what you're holding on to. This plays out a lot for me with money on my side, the law of attraction with money. I tend to have a very greedy, very fearful mindset around money. When I get money, or when I don't have money, I have a very, very hard time. Currently, I'm working on it. See, even then, speaking that out loud, admitting it is my truth currently, but I don't want to put and continue to put that mindset and to say that, because then that's just going to continue to happen. But in the past and currently, I have dealt with the issue of being greedy with money, being having like a hold on to money mindset. You guys probably know what I mean by that. And I feel like it's never good for me. Expansiveness, abundance, trust, and faith that I will have more funds coming to me, or that I will be more than grateful to give away what I have because somebody has less. Things of that nature. I see that more so the law of attraction playing out, and me struggling with money. She's dealing it with friendships. Some people feel it in relationships. Why does nobody love me? Why can't I get a boyfriend or girlfriend? Why does everybody keep cheating on me? Why does this same sort of concept? Obviously, people need to be held for their accounts and their actions. I'm not saying just because you are fearful of getting cheated on that it's okay for somebody to go and sleep with somebody else when you don't have that agreement with them. I think you guys know what I'm saying. Madison P, are you going to be pulling a card from a tarot deck at the end of this live stream? Dang! Oh my gosh, my Earth Magic Oracle deck is in the other room, so I might just randomly pull whatever deck I can next to me right now. I'm so sorry, I forgot about that. Patty says, yes, law of attraction. Your thoughts become things. Either we do it consciously or unconsciously. Just my opinion. And yes, it is a very controversial topic. No, but I don't care right now. It's my live stream, baby. Higher Self said, hello, beautiful souls. Namaste. Hello. Welcome for joining us. We're about an hour and a half into this live stream, and I am ranty and rambly. Lindsay says, I think I was in a similar place as your friend. I tried to come from a place of love, but it was hard to let go of the injustice until I was out of the toxic situation and able to reflect on shadow. Yeah, like I said, it's so much easier said than done when you're in the bubble, when you're experiencing that moment, when you're in the tower crumbling and the lightning is striking and everyone's falling from the tower. It is so hard to see the beauty in rebuilding your structure, or from knocking down the castle and starting from ground one, or filling in the cracks beforehand before it gets out of hand and your foundation is completely gone. You guys can see the metaphors and the analogies that I'm making towards the tarot card here. It is so much harder. It's so easy to just talk about it and be like, yeah, think positively and don't think negatively and all of these things. Yeah, it's great. Do it. It's much harder. I get that. But I think it's really, really important, because a lot of the things that are brought up in this book, the topics and the conversations, all kind of come back. It always comes back to intention. It always comes back to how we're manifesting things and what we want to manifest. It is not good enough. Very passionate. Okay. 99% of the time, it is not enough to just want something and let it go. Now, if you are powerful, or if you're in the right time and space, or the universe has just been waiting for you to be ready for something, and you have that mindset and intention, and you go, oh, you know what? That would be nice. Sometimes it just works. Sometimes it just happens, and that's it. That's all you have to do is just want or think it, and it will happen. Great. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it happens and you're thinking bad things, or not bad things, but more challenging things where you don't actually want to manifest it, and it just happens because you've opened yourself up to it. A lot of the times when they're the bigger things that you're trying to make changes in, when you're trying to actually have make major energy shifts, like a raise, or a change in career path, or success on a different level, or find the love of your life, or to get pregnant, or to do a diet and lose weight, or gain weight, or get stronger, or tone down, or whatever it is. You know, I'm trying to cover all the bases here, whether it's to move, whether it's to travel, whatever it is. Sometimes you really, really have to get to the root of what it is you want, really dissect it, be clear on what you want, be clear on your intentions. Sometimes tools are really great ways to amplify those things, or to really get honest with yourself on what it is that's holding you back, what it is that you I can't get over my dog right now, you guys. I wish I could take a picture and show you. She's smiling so big, like a human smile, like, and she's completely sleeping. It's so cute. Sorry, ADD. Okay. Rebecca says, I'm pretty sure assumptions are being made about something that's part of ancient culture. Assumptions that it's negative and can't sit through it. Love and light, but wait, I'm pretty sure, but eight have love and light, but 8 have to go. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if you're leaving. Bye, Rebecca. If you are, I'm sorry if I offended you. If I'm going against something that you don't believe in, you know, or if you're just trying to say goodbye and I don't understand what you're saying. But either way, I do love you, and I hope that you have a great day if you're leaving. Danielle says, I don't know all there is to know about curses and hexes, but like with anything else, it has to do with something witchy society has turned certain things to have a negative meaning. Exactly. Also, I was talking a lot with my 2 cousins. And we are planning a trip. Oh, I wasn't going to say this. I am planning a trip to Salem, Massachusetts with them in 2019. And I'm so effing excited. But, you know, we're looking into a lot of historical things and where we're going to stay, and just like the conversations. I'm so excited about it. We're really, really geeked. And we keep talking about, you know, the historical thing about witches, and because that place is highly evolved in energy there with that, and the historical knowledge around, you know, the Salem witch trials, or just a lot of history is in that place. So we're talking a lot about, you know, how witches got bad reps and what they were at the root. And a lot of you guys here kind of know, you know, at the core, a lot of what witchcraft was, or witches were using herbal medicine and using natural methods like Reiki in some forms to heal the body, or to communicate with animals, and using the land and herbs were at that time when certain religions were taking over in a very more structured way. It wasn't okay. And the intention around using the earth and using tools and using our energy and our mindset and our intuition and our empathy to heal and to connect with those, the intention around that and the manifestation around that took a big turn. So this is another reason why I've been really on this topic, is because it's been brought up in like our little conversation about going to Salem and exploring, and the history of witches, and you know, stuff like that. So oh goodness gracious, this has been a controversial baby. Lindsay, it's hard to take a step back and look at the situation objectively when you're in survival mode. Oh, good. I feel that for sure. Why would someone want to wish negativity? That's just absurd. Fear, Heather, fear, jealousy, anger, coming from an ego-centered place instead of a loving spirit-based place. In my opinion, that's the answer to that. I would be afraid if I did that, it would turn around and bite me in the ass times 100. I agree. Angie, that's a vitamin pill. It's good for you, but you might not want to hear it. Yeah. Danielle, for instance, Beauty and the Beast. The Beast has a curse on him that has to be broken. He has a lesson that had to be learned because of the kind of person that he was. How have I not even thought of that? Yeah. That's a really interesting thing to bring up, is that movie in particular, and how he chose to put his intention and his energy out was being judgy and being rude and not accepting of everybody, and kind of looking at something for what it was on the surface and not deep down, and being greedy and all of that. So the curse was placed on him, because what you put out is what you get, and what, you know, it's going to come back kind of thing. universal law, here it was working. Here it was working. I don't know what you're reading. Danielle, I agree with Rebecca. I think that a lot of stereotypes are being applied to hexes and curses. Oh, exactly. And, you know, we've talked about this before, where hexes and curses, if done in the right way, are really, really powerful and can be really, really great. If you're using them for, see, what's great? What do you think is great? Do you think what's great is to put negativity on somebody? Then I can't tell you that you're wrong, because that's your truth. That's your validity. I'm not here to make somebody right, or, you know, all of that. That's not my thing. I'm just talking about intention, really. And I wrote hexes and curses in there because the general consensus right now of curses and hexes, or how I see it most in the media, or most in the community, or most in our day-to-day conversation, if curses and hexes tend to be brought up. And I'm specifically talking because of my friend saying, I think I have a hex on me. I was like, who do you know that would, you know, why do you think that? Where are you getting that from, kind of thing? What's making you think and feel that way? And that's why I chose to bring up curses and hexes, and how our intentions are going to either solidify things or to make us run in certain energy patterns. I agree with Rebecca. I think that a lot of stereotypes are... Okay, I already read that. Rebecca, I made myself come back because running from anger is not a good thing. It is frustrating to hear something that is part of your culture get torn down due to misinformation. Yep. You have the right to be mad. You have the right to feel your feelings. Again, love you, respect you, Rebecca. I am seeing and talking about curses and hexes specifically with just how mainstream media, and I'm sure that it's very frustrating for you as it is for me. I understand the word curse and the word hex can be used for many beautiful things if done with the right intent. And what is the right intent? Again, I'm only bringing up curses and hexes because specifically the way that my friend had a mindset about it. Let's bring it back, you guys. Let's just bring it back to intention, okay? Let's just talk about pure intention. That's really where I'm trying to focus. If you keep repeating negative things over and over and focusing on it about yourself and putting it out in the universe, you're going to get just that. I believe the same as well. Everything in the world was scientific evidence for mathematical myths. You people agreed? I love the way you wrote that. I think the law of attraction can be a dangerous concept, because when people are beaten or abused or raped and then people start to speak the law of attraction, that's when it really bothers me. Yeah, I agree. I can see that as well. That's why it's such a broad topic, that if we start going more specific into certain things, then obviously shifting and shaping and mending and bending certain things in my mind are going to be necessary. Let's bring it back, y'all. Let's bring it back. When I'm speaking about law of attraction, when I'm speaking about just intention in general, let's put it in a more positive sense. Let's leave this and go forth when we're talking about tools, when we're talking about our mindset and what we're creating and how we want to create and how we want to manifest and how we want to move forth in the most positive light, in the most abundant energy we can. I want you to take a look at the following. When you were a child and you didn't have any tools, or you weren't using tools, or in the times when you felt the most magical as a child, because my dog is full out running in her sleep right now. When you're a child, you have less doubts, less borders or restrictions on what is and what isn't, and you just are magical because your intentions are so pure. What kind of things happened, or what kind of circumstances do you believe that you created or that you manifested as a child out of pure intent? What things happened to you as an adult that you feel happened out of pure intent? What are some of your most used, if any, magical tools that you feel help you to really connect with intention, or that you feel very connected to energetically, or that you feel very connected to spirit wise, or that you feel really enhance certain things. It could be a general thing like tarot. It could be just a single tarot deck. It could be a rock. It could be, you know, whatever it is. What sorts of things do you feel the most pure, or what are some situations in which you felt you had the most pure comeback from an intention or a manifestation that you put forth? And how can we use that and repeat it for the certain things that we do want to make changes on? How can we move forward? Am I getting a little crazy here? Are you guys following? I'm gonna go to the comments now. Rebecca, Danielle, it's a huge illness. It's the illness community. It's used to bully us. I think I know where you're going with that, Rebecca, and I feel you. I feel you. Are you serious? Serious about what? I'm confused. I'm lost, you guys. Please, please, you know. Okay, my husband and I couldn't get pregnant for the longest time, and we both were focusing on why we can't get pregnant versus we will. Once we changed our mindset and focused on the positive, 6 months later, I was pregnant with Grayson. That's amazing. Yay! Yay! And, you know, we don't always have to focus on the love and light. I get it. Like, sometimes let's really raw. Let's talk about these really shitty circumstances, which it's like, well, let's talk about law of attraction around this. I don't typically want to go there right now. I don't think that that's what I want this Witchy Book Club to be about. It's just been on my mind. It's been on my radar. It's been things that I've been talking about and thinking about. And with getting a lot of tools, with receiving a lot of gifts and beautiful, beautiful things, the more decks I receive, the more I want to just use one at a time. Not that I don't want to receive the decks and that I don't want to have a large, beautiful collection that I can access, but it's like more so the intention that I'm putting in. All my intention is getting scattered among all of these things at once. It's like, here's what I'm using now. Here's my tool. My tool currently is a candle with an intention, and I'm lighting it, and I'm focused full-heartedly on what it is that I'm doing and using this tool for. Not like I have to have all the tools all at once and have all of these things and here's my intention, and now I'm not focused and my energy is sparse, and I don't feel like that works quite as well. We are all entitled to our opinions. Thank you, Sam, for whatever you're monitoring. Hi to whoever is coming in. Sam, if you feel like you need to just out that person, just feel free. Nope, we're not going to do that. Don't push your religion or views on other people in this chat, please. Thank you. I don't know what was being said, so I don't know if it was a valid thing, but I do trust Sam. I do trust Sam. So I'm sorry if you're offended that we kind of took the comments out. I did not see the comments, so I really do have to go now, and time to do some homeschooling with my son. Love you, Sammy. Sorry this was such a hard subject for me. I respect your opinions. Rebecca, I appreciate you. I appreciate where you're coming from. I don't know where and how you're connecting with certain things. I'd love to have a chat sometime with you. Sorry if your son is being told or being heard beliefs that you don't resonate with and you would like to teach him otherwise. Everybody has their own path. Everybody has their own way. We are completely different people, and we love some similar things, and we have a lot of connections. We are very, very connected. I do genuinely believe that we have very deep connection together with each other, but everyone's different. Everyone believes different, and I respect that, and I respect you. So I hope you have a good day, and I'm really glad that your son got to say hi. Christine, yes, Sam, I think we've all had a lifetime of that kind of crap. I don't remember what you're talking about, but like, okay, I agree. Authenticity is what it's all about, no? Rebecca, I do homeschooling with my son as well. I hope you have a good day. Did I miss something? Who is this T. Lee Jones? I don't know. I didn't see comments, but again, Sam says he posted that he wished Sam was Catholic because he is Catholic. What? That's not that bad, Sam. But I listen, you guys are my moderators for a reason. I totally believe and respect that you are going to help me out with the comments because I didn't even get down to that yet. So I don't know what was said. T. Lee Jones, if you are still here, even though she retracted your comments, I totally trust and believe that she knows how my live streams work. So I'm sorry if you're offended if you are still here. I love and appreciate you, and I love and appreciate your religious beliefs and whatever you choose to do with your life. But this is what's going on here in my belief. Actually, sometimes childhood is not all that magical. Sometimes childhood is sad or even awful. Sometimes the fun and the magic comes later. Great, I believe that as well. Yeah, some people have really, really, really hard childhoods, and then what is the kind of the magic that you found once you became into your own and once you were an adult? Let's think about that. That is our live stream. Oh wait, hold on, I'm sorry, T. Lee Jones did say something. Samantha is awesome. Sorry for confusion. Never would work for free, like push religion, etc. My communications failed as I wanted to say how Samantha is a friend and ace, always unconditionally. T. Lee Jones, thank you so much. Please don't be offended. Samantha is such a wonderful soul, and she does so much for me, and she's so great, and she really is on it. Normally when there are people, and I trust that she took it out because she felt, like I said, that it was not going to be, it was going to be conflicting with what I had driving here. But I love and appreciate you too, T. Lee Jones, and I really, really appreciate that. So thank you so much. Gotta go. Okay, we're all wrapping this up. I think this was a really good and interesting topic. I have hot flashes and hot sweats because, y'all, it was a thing. The comments continued about how we are all really Catholic and it wasn't heading into a good area. Okay, great. Let's drop it, you guys. Let's drop it. It's all good. T. Lee Jones, I get you. I get everyone. Everyone's good. Everyone's happy. We're all good. Are we good? No, we're good. Thank you guys so much. Our homework really for next week, again, I'm going to leave it light and open just because this book is difficult for me. And we're going to be finishing again our sections for reading if you came in late. For next week, we're going to be finishing this book so we can move on, okay? Part 3, Earth, Magic, and Healing. All of the rest of Part 3 is going to be our reading section for next week. Our book for next week, if you'd like to purchase it, if you'd like to look on a review on it, or whatever you want to do, is going to be The Witch's Shield by Christopher Penczak. Then the following month, we've already picked our book as well. So if you want to get a head start and get the book as well, our next book is going to be Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Sinova. So we are going to be diving into tarot and talking about tarot. So I'm very excited about this, but if you're not interested in either of these things, it's cool. I would still love for you guys to join me here. Thank you to Anthony, who has given money towards this live stream. Please, before you go, be sure to give this a thumbs up. If you'd like to share it with somebody, that would be wonderful. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I am so excited for the Tarot-thon on the 29th of July. I am so excited. I would love in the future another Penczak book for a topic. Maybe we never have done that before. If that could be on the table, he has done a lot of books. Great. Let me know. DM me on Instagram. I will save it in a list, and we will definitely put it up for option. Crow Girl said, awesome. Bye, everyone. This has been really interesting. Thank you guys so much. Our homework I will be putting in the description box below once it has processed, which kind of takes a while. Also, I'll link the previous Earth Magic live streams that we've done, but our homework for next week is to think about magic, think about intention, and the purest forms of intention that we have really worked with, things that we've remembered from our childhood, or maybe some tools in which I would like to continue this topic, but I'd like to move through the book, but I would like to go over a little bit more specifically and hear what you guys have to say on certain tools that you use or certain instances in which you felt your intentions were so pure and things just clicked, okay? I love you all so very much, and I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful, magical day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!